too much information, but when I take a poop, it's about 20 minutes. It's about a 20-minute process for me. Some people poop really quick. My girl poops faster than she pees. I don't understand it, dude. Like, how did you do that? Right? But me,
oh boy,
it's well, for example, me, it's not a simple task. All right, it's a timely task. And the funny thing is, I did the math on that one day. I'm like, damn, if I shit twice a day and it takes 20 minutes, that's 40 hours a day times 7 days a week.
40 minutes, not 40 hours.
40 minutes a day times 7 days a week times 300. I mean, and I was like, holy shit, I'm spending that much time in the bathroom. So what I do is now I take my book with me. I take my book with me instead of scrolling like we all Multitasking, baby. You know, I got to get it done. So that's another way of, knocking two birds out with one stone.
I bet some of your best ideas happen on the throne, don't they?
Just you and me here today, big guy. Just you and me.
There's too much space between us.
I know, but the cameras only allow the close-ups all the way right here. That's how we do this. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know what? I'd like to listen to this music outside. Can we go do that?
I don't know, man.
It's beautiful out. It's weather. It's my favorite time of year.
I thought you were talking about the song.
Yeah, the song. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why.
Outside. It's perfect.
I don't know how it is we keep raving over this song every time we hear it, as if like it's not gotten old yet or anything like that, man. So.
It hasn't.
I don't wind it down.
What's up with you?
I'm good, man.
How was the weekend?
I'm real good. Weekend's really good. Things are really good. I'm looking at this text right now by fighter Meg. She got cracked in the head, so evidently that was she's Meg. Shout out to Meg Howard. We love her to death. She came from her home Pittsburgh on a whim, just completely like said, you know what, I'm gonna just sign up, or I'm just gonna move to the Eastern Shore, and I got a job doing physical therapy, and everything's gonna work out. She left Pittsburgh to come here, but anywho,
a lot of people have.
Yeah, bless their hearts.
I was at a place today, and there were everybody in this corner of this restaurant were from Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, PA is a popular.
But,
yeah, we are popular for PA.
But Meg, man.
Yeah, she comes down and she's like, she's this wholesome, wonderful, human being, and she comes down and she's like, oh yeah, COVID held my license up. Was staying in the Airbnb, renting an Airbnb.
She told me some
with
stories
multiple people, like weird people, according to her. And then she stumbles somehow on my Instagram page and rolls in to hang out with us, a bunch of rejects and savages. And anyway, so she
fits right in.
She does. She fits right in. She's got a great personality, but she's got a
dude. She's one of the funniest people I've met in a long time. Too. Her sense of humor
and her memes are fire. But anyway, she's texting me and she's got this like huge blood stain all the way over her head, and it's like she said,
"Just tell me those aren't all stitches."
No, I don't know. Okay. I said, "How'd it happen?" She said, "Headbutt with Sean. White belt mistakes, but I'm honored." Oh man, but shout out to Meg Howard. Yeah, man. Weekend was good. Let's do our little introduction. Welcome to Champ Talk with Brandon Hudson. I am your host, Brandon Hudson. To my left is
Chet.
Damn it.
Last
episode had Chet Dammit on. I caught that, Maurice, the second time. The second time I caught that. Chet Dammit.
Chet Dammit.
That was clear. I like just Chet, but this man's a guy of many mysteries. He's either just Chet or Chet Dammit or Chet.
I just have to keep it fresh and
so clean. Oh man, this episode
keep my own interest.
Yes, sir. This episode of Champ Talk is brought to you by SBY MMA and Fitness, home of all of our sports combat needs here in Salisbury. We're located at 600 Glen Avenue at Pure Fitness in Newbury. So if you guys are interested, check us out. Also, always looking for potential sponsors. So if you guys want to get your business out here and advertise on Champ Talk, I think we're averaging about 800 to 1,000 viewers a week. That's minus any of the social media stuff that I have not been doing. But we're still trying to perfect our craft, baby. We're still trying to perfect our craft.
Like up here and down here.
They're all over.
Yeah,
they're all over.
Okay,
this is also Champ Talk with Brandon Hudson. And to our left is Chet, and we're still missing our buddy Eric. Eric, we miss you.
We miss you, Eric.
We love you. We didn't see you at Open Mat, so we're thinking about putting.
Hey, he did. He came in. He trained on Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah. He and Ryan. They were working some leg stuff.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Leg stuff.
They sent me videos and everything.
Leg stuff.
Yeah, they waited till like 2:00 in the morning to send me the videos.
Well, what's frustrating is they go on Sunday to do some of the most coolest part of jiu-jitsu right now. You know what I mean? The leg game is like, people hate on it all day long, man. You can hate on the leg game. You can do whatever you want, but man, it's part of the game. They hated on Kimuras when they first came out. They were like, yeah, only professionals and experienced people can do these. You can twist your shoulder. You know,
yeah, you can pretty much twist anything.
Anything.
Meg, can
you help us?
Shit happens, right?
We're a little broken up
For
right
sure.
now. PT, but yeah, that's good, man. We miss you, Eric. Hope you can come back. I did hear something about speaking of Eric, and we know he has his oldest is special needs. I did hear that they would maybe be the first to go back to school. Pending trying to reacclimate, kids back into school, just because I think I think you could probably kind of put a handle on that a little bit easier than full-fledged everybody in the school and running around, and you know what I mean. Special needs children do have their challenges at time, but for the most part, they're very systematic, go with the program and stuff like that. And I think it's a little easier. So I heard that's what they'll be doing is they're going to implement them first. So let's hope.
We'll see. I know parents want kids back and kids want to be back.
Well, I just hope that the parents take in mind what the teachers go through now that they've had a little bit on their own, own platter. Everybody wants to bitch at the teachers and complain about the teachers, you know what I mean? But, these teachers, they deal with 30 of these little motherfuckers. You just deal with yours. So, and you at least can beat the kid, the teacher can't. So I mean,
and another thing, I mean, look at what they get paid to. So, and I'm not. Hey, look, it is what it is. But you have to love what you do for sure. It's one of those occupations you just love what you do.
I think that's one of the most unjust and unfair things is the level of pay grade for teachers and because it's not just the classroom. They're not just working from 8 to 3.
Oh no. They're there before. They're there after.
They're planning lessons. They're grading papers. I mean, it's a lot that goes in. So shout out to all the teachers, man. Yes. We love you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for making me the awesome person I am. It was because of my teachers, Mr. Hodgson, my guy. Who I am. Lance Hodgson, baby.
One of my favorites.
Shit, he was legend. Was he your teacher?
Yeah.
Well, get the hell out of here. Hodge, you that old to be Chet's teacher? Yeah, I thought y'all were like brothers. Dude, what about his stories, dude? You know what I mean? His story. Mr. Stanley was another good one I liked too. Remember Mr. Stanley?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him and Mr. Perry. There was a couple good ones at Waha that I really appreciated. And I mean, they were all good. There was a couple of them there, man.
People are people, man. There's a couple in every bunch.
That's it. Of course, you got your veterans over there, Butch Waller.
The man.
Mr. Squires, remember him? Mr. Elder.
One of our bands was named after one of his blocks of wood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Cattywampus.
Well, yeah, Cattywampus. Remember Mr. Stanley?
See all blue here. She's all Cattywampus.
Mr. Stanley would yell at you, "Be quiet, you old watermelon buffalo head." Great guy, man. Great. I loved Waha, dude. Waha was a great school.
Me too.
All right, man. So we were supposed to have a guest this week because of the busyness that they've got going on. I think Anthony Darby was supposed to be our host today, our guest today. Excuse me, I'm your host. But the Peninsula Alternative Wellness now has a new location, which they opened up last week, and they're a little balls to the wall right now.
I was gonna say they must be busy.
Things are crazy.
They're gonna be nothing but busy.
Oh, it's great, man, and especially taking the 2 days off or whatever, or however many days to do the move. Shout out to them. We're doing a big campaign with them together. Peninsula Holistics is our sponsor over at SBY, and we've been getting together, him, me, Brandon, and Taylor, to really put together a huge campaign to show the benefits and the great things that CBD does for athletes, and especially in our business. And it's kind of like my fountain of youth, to be honest with you, the balm and stuff. But we'll get him back on here. Don't worry, he will be coming. So we're going to back up and punt on this episode because I have some interesting news, and I thought that we could really make a good play on this. So this week or tomorrow I will be starting, but that would be last week when you all see this. So I'm not letting out the secret. So by the time anybody sees it, we're good. So I will be subcontracting through. And I'll get it right this time.
You better get it right this time.
Long and Foster, the Maryland Delaware group of Long and Foster. We're over there with my boy Brandon Brittingham. Brandon basically called me, and he's a fucking rock star, dude. Like, shout out to them. You know what I mean? He's he's killing it in the real estate business. Everybody who knows him knows
Yep.
the team that he's doing or the things that he's doing. But yeah, he's I think first or second in Maryland. He's number 40 in the country, and he's all about growth, man. It's one thing I love about our sponsors, man, is we align with the elements in the chakras, because he's all about personal growth. He's all about, obviously business growth and area growth, and he really truly has a passion for what he does and who he helps out with, and
he's all about the team.
All about the team, which is huge, and culture. So it works really well. So anyway, he was talking to his professional coach. This guy, I don't even know his name. I can't remember, but dude gets paid $70,000 to show up at a seminar to talk to 2,500 people and stuff like that. Something I aspire to be. Bless you, bless you. That's our little sound effects.
It is allergy season.
Yeah, you got to level up on that one, brother. But yeah, so anyway, they were talking, and basically, Brandon's working on trying to grow, and at this point, he's kind of at a ceilings with it. He's wearing so many hats right now. He needs to entertain what can help him grow and not wear so many hats. And his coach, according to what he told me, is yo, you need a fighter. You need somebody with some grit, somebody with a little bit of savviness and stuff like that to come in. And he told me the only person he thought it was me, which was a huge compliment, very flattering. But yeah, I mean, he gives me a call and he's like, yo, let's talk, just at the third. And basically they have this real estate agent scholarship program over there, right? Where you get you want to be an aspiring real estate agent, you get your license paid for and all that stuff, pending you qualify, and so on and so forth.
Do the exam,
all that stuff. Yep.
Take you through it.
Yep, all that stuff. And I mean, you got to work for it. It ain't no freebie, you know what I mean? But they give you the opportunity to get in there. And he says that he just can't keep up with all the people and all the personalities. I think he's got 25 agents now. He's looking to do the same. So anyway, he wants me to come in, and he wants me to kind of screen the applicants when they come in, just see if see if they fit the mold. And then also coach and coach the, be a professional performance coach, agent success and stuff like that. Keeping agents with skin in the game, keeping, different levels, different tiers and stuff like that. Yeah, he put that on my lap, and I'm like, he says he's never done this before. He's creating this position just solely for me.
I was going to ask you if this was something that you're tapping into and plugging into, something they've got going, or you're helping to build this system, this training, coaching.
We're in a very juvenile phase of it. We're in a very early phase of it. There's a lot of leverage there, a lot of not leniency, but flexibility there. You know what I mean? We don't know which way we're going to go with it and how it's going to go. We got he's got an idea, and of course I got to get in there and learn the culture. But yeah, man, I was like, dude, I don't have any time as it is. You know what I mean? What do you need from me? I mean, for right now, it's 2 days a week, and then I set up the schedule once I get set my own schedule. Once I get the culture down and stuff like that. It's more about production, more about producing. But yeah, it's the parallels of the two companies with what I do at the gym and training fighters and coaching people and stuff like that are so parallel with the real estate business and stuff like that. But yeah, he brought me on, and again, I'm a subcontractor. And basically, I'm coaching people to be successful. So it's a big thank you to him and to the guys over there and the crew over there. I'm very excited to do this. I did work my schedule out at the gym where I'll be able to do both. You know what I mean? It's certainly a serious position to him. Because of the terms we agreed on, I could tell that it's something that's much needed. So. Yeah, dude, I'm super excited. It broadens my horizon a little bit. You know what I mean?
Congratulations. That's it's your thing.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. You guys have known each other for a while.
We have. Well, the interesting thing about that is we've known each other for a while, but we've never really had you and I talk a lot, and I'll be coaching and pumping up, but he's never got that from me. You know what I mean? So he's never seen that. He's heard about me, and obviously knows I'm a fighter and stuff, but you can be a good fighter and have a bland personality. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that you know how to do all that. But I'm highly convinced that it was all the live videos and Champ Talk and the stuff that we talk about, which really said, I think he would fit what we're looking for right now. that really put me in there and you know, gave me the opportunity. So I'm super excited about it, man. It's going to be a new challenge. You know what I mean? I'm a little nervous. You know what I mean? So anytime you're nervous, I know that's a good thing. You know,
it's got to be exciting though too, because you're doing this from the ground up, basically.
Correct.
And I know he's had other speakers, other coaches, other trainings, whether it was local or, you know, national.
Yeah.
Figures and people in there, but yeah, I mean, so that stuff works. So now you can kind of, I'm sure you can look at other models, but you know, it works for you. You know, with the people you coach now at the gym, and just implementing that there and kind of tweaking it. So that's got to be exciting to build that from the ground up too.
Absolutely. And I guess the reason why I wanted to bring this up, you know, one, I wanted to give them a shout out and stuff like that. But, dude, I manifested this 2 years ago. Like, I manifested this destiny like 2 years ago, you know, and I was talking to, no, actually 3 years ago, maybe even sooner, when I dubbed myself a life coach. Right. That was really ultimately where I wanted to go. I want to, you know, because I'm not always going to be able to do the fight training at the level I want to.
I think we need to come up with a different title, though.
I'm working on it. I got you.
Life coach.
Well, I was getting
like
that
intergalactic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanos. I'm the Thanos.
Everybody's a life coach.
Well, no, and that's one thing.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, when I first said it, it sounded good. Now, life coach is such a hunky dory. So I like the role. You know, I like the title. You know, performance coach. You know, I mean, professional coach, stuff like that. I think that really fits more of what I'm looking for, because you know, you can perform in any realm of employment or life or whatever. But yeah, back then, and you're exactly right. I hate being called a life coach. I said I was a life coach, and you know, it may still be true to a level, but yeah, dude, I was like, yo, I want to, you know, post personal training, post, you know, fighting and stuff like that. I want to be able to coach people, you know, via online, via, you know, do seminars, do public speaking. And
I know you've thought about this, and this has been something that, you know, it's been in here and here for a while, but recently we were talking about it too, and then wow, there it is.
Boom, yes. And it's crazy because the point I'm trying to get across is like, dude, you can manifest your own destiny, you know what I mean, when you really put the mind into play. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not trying to act like, you know, I'm like this big supernova of a person, but I work hard, bro. Like, I really, really work hard. And a lot of people don't understand really, or not understand, but a lot of people don't see like how much of my day and life is committed to other people.
Even when you're playing and having fun. Saturday was a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
You came in there. How many people did you roll with?
All of them.
Everybody. And you're like, you're next.
Yeah.
But you weren't just rolling. You were teaching as you know. I know, because I learned stuff that day for sure. I mean, but exactly what you're saying. Even when you're doing it in that capacity, it's like, man, you're investing your time and sharing knowledge with people, even if it's in that open mat, fun situation.
Well, all the coaches I've ever been with and trained me were that exact same thing. You know what I mean? I think it just comes from, you know, having good examples before me, and good, you know, Coach DeMont, you know what I mean? You know, Miles, you know what I mean? Eric, you know, all these coaches that have come before me and done that. Jim Willie was a good coach for me for a while. You know what I mean? Trevor helped me out. I mean, a lot of these people. Dante was a phenomenal coach. You know, I got a buddy named Lawrence. He was Chrisfield PD. He moved over to Baltimore. Lawrence Henderson, shout out to him, man. Great guy. Carmelo Guerrero I worked with a lot. You know what I mean? Like all these guys were like in it. You know what I mean? With me. Right. You know, and it just gave me a good base and good platform to really, you know, just build off that, and that's what I know. So you know, that's why it's never off. You know what I mean? I'm never off when it comes to all this stuff, because
now you manifested it.
Yes.
So you didn't just, better get the wrong idea, because you didn't just think about it.
No, I
didn't just talk about it.
So there's a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a really, really remarkable book, and I feel like he masked the purpose with money. You know, the rich part and stuff like that, because the book probably is least about money. It's more about success. And a couple of the things that they talk about in this book, one is everything that we've ever done, you know, if you wanted to go to the moon or you wanted to start a podcast or whatever, it comes from a thought, right? It comes from an idea. So you get the idea and then you write it down. You know what I mean? You write down what you want, and you build on that, you write more and more. and you ultimately come up with an outcome statement. You know what I mean? Not a goal, not an outcome. It's a I am statement. Like currently at this moment, I am, blah, blah, blah. And the more detailed, the better. And yeah, it's one of the things where you have this statement. You just have to kind of like obsess and just have this burning desire over this idea and over this outcome statement. You know what I mean? Like you really have to put all your focus and your energy into what it is that you really truly want, right? And when you hear these people talk about these things, like when people tell you on TV or I'm saying it right now, it doesn't quite resonate with you. You hear it, but the level of consciousness and awareness that you have about what you're really hearing pretty much is just very surface. It's like kind of like reading a book really quick instead of like diving in some of those those chapters. So once you get this burning desire, you have to take action. And these are steps by steps that it gives you, kind of like a blueprint as to how, to become successful and manifest the things that you want. Now, this book was written post-Depression, the Great Depression that we had, and still is one of the best-selling books to this day. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's either number one or within the top 5 each year. And
anybody who's in any kind of sales or networking or motivation or inspiration knows that book.
Facts. And I mean, it's a great book. It's phenomenal. So anyway, man, I was manifesting this thing, and I just took action. Right, I took action. Like I said, I'm so busy, dude. Like I'm to the gym every day, 9 o'clock. I'm out of there just about 9:30 every day. If I'm not doing that, I'm doing my own marketing, my own, social media stuff, which people think that's easy. Yeah, well, I don't have the time to do that, right? I'm doing Champ Talk, at 1:30 on Mondays. We got to watch it air Wednesdays after I spar and have a whole day of training. You know what I mean? Like every Wednesday night, the whole family knows it. We're not talking. We're going to listen to Brandon talk like an idiot, right? I'm training fighters. I'm personal training. I'm doing group classes. If I can ever get a speaking engagement, I'm speaking. I'm going to see this interview. I mean, dude. It just does. It never stops, dude. You know what I mean? And then I'm working on
one day it will. One day it all stops. So go for it now.
When that day it stops, I hope when I'm sitting in my casket, you motherfuckers say, "Dan, that boy looks tired.
He never stopped.
Tired. Look at him, man. You know, one of y'all gonna be talking about something. I might come up out of the grave like, what you say? Donna, make sure you keep to your action. Manifest. But yeah, the grind, man, is and sometimes we get caught in the grind. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get overwhelmed by the grind, and that's all we could see is just, I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. Man, I also do, I have, I see a therapist. She keeps me accountable. I've got that, twice a month. Mm-hmm. I'm taking a class over there right now, you know what I mean, at the Personal Wellness Center, where I'm taking a communication class just because, it's something to do. I'm skipping jiu-jitsu. So I'm always working on bettering myself and the internal journey and other people. And dude, I'm telling you, man, it can be draining. Like it can be draining, dumping every bit of yourself into other people, their goals, or and you have to have endurance. I think we talked about this with Jess, like you have to have endurance to be able to train people and coach people and stuff like that, because you're not going to get the results like that out of them. And you're not always going to get a commitment. You're going to get a lot of shit comes with that, that you don't really realize. So, it was really awesome to get this opportunity, because, dude, it's like it goes back to the things that I said that I was going to do 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I've manifested that. You know what I mean? I've manifested the gym, I've manifested this brand. You know what I mean? I've manifested this coaching, and this isn't like me trying to talk how awesome and great I am. I'm really trying to get to the point where, like, dude, like anybody can do this. This is not. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm not this special being that, people might think, oh, well, you're this and you're that. Dude, I am just as insecure. I fumble life in life so much. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I make so many mistakes, man. I get it wrong. Me and my fiance, dude, we have a trying relationship. I mean, our relationship is not easy. I've never experienced love like I have with Bethany, you know what I mean, in my life. Like, and I've been in a handful of serious relationships, and it's not like she's the new one that's the best one. I mean, there was other relationships that were way more in harmonious and balanced than this one, but the substance wasn't there, and the feeling wasn't there. We have a very trying relationship, man. So constantly making mistakes as a person and stuff like that in that relationship, and learning and being humbled and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
But there's a balance there, and you make it work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, it's not like I'm this like special being, or I'm the champ, or, you know, I could talk to everybody. Dude, like, I struggle. And I go through just like anyone. But dude, everybody can do this, man. Everybody has the ability to manifest their own destiny. You know what I mean? To speak into existence what it is that you want.
And that goes both ways. And by that, I mean, it can go in the positive, it can go in the negative too.
Correct.
I mean, the more negative stuff you take in, the more negative stuff you put out, the more, you know, the self-talk, all of it.
We're seeing that with society now.
Can manifest that just as easily.
Absolutely.
And it's going to take the same amount of energy, if not more, and that can be exhausting and draining.
Absolutely.
You can do it to yourself, and you can bring others down with that too. So, just point that. Yeah, that can go in the positive or the negative. So why not? If you're going to put the same energy into it, you know, flip that shit around.
Well, it goes back to what Mom used to say is, you know, you hang with thieves, you'll become a thief. You know what I mean? If you're surrounded by that negative energy, if you're surrounded by things that aren't feeding your soul and aren't helping you and building you up, you're going to eventually turn into that, you know, and that's like social media.
Even internally.
Absolutely. That's where it starts.
Even internally.
That's where it starts. It starts internally. You know, that's like social media. You know, everybody's like got this opinion about social media, but yeah, we all take a shit and start scrolling. You know what I mean? Or we're all sitting there. That's the first thing we, you know, nobody ever sits in a waiting room anymore and just stares and look. We're all on our phones. We're in our phones, you know, and so much. And I don't think we understand, like, all of that information, all that overload is affecting us one way or another, whether, you know, it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's just like you remember the old 80s movies when, like, they wanted to brainwash the subject, so they strapped him down into his seat and they put the TVs in front of him and made him watch nothing but bombs and Hiroshimas and war and killing, and now all of a sudden he's a Terminator, right? Like that. It's the same thing. I mean, it's just a constant pull, constant influence, you know, and we
But you got to be aware of it. And I did this today, just a real quick example. Scrolling, somebody, their post is up there and I'm reading it, and my first thing was like, man, you asshole, like, why this? And then I was like, you know what, something else has got to be going on there. Feel bad for them, whatever, but just I had to flip that internally and be like, you know what, I kind of feel sorry for them. They must have other shit going on in their life that is so bad that they've got to say this and that.
Well, that's one of the huge things about the
not excusing it 100%, but at the same time, it's like I can't internalize that and keep that little bit of negativity there. Let it go. Next.
Right.
So.
Well, that's one of the big things about communication is, you know, I'm reading this book, talks about nonviolent communication. You know what I mean? You know, you're having compassion for the person opposed to putting a predisposed judgment on them. You know, you're looking internally first. And, you know, it's very important to be aware of that. And I'm so numb and so over, like, just all the fucking social media just opinions and like, dude, I don't even fucking entertain it anymore, dude. I was kind of drawn in a little bit during quarantine and stuff like that, because obviously that's all we had, and I was dealing with some stuff myself. But you know, it's just it's a point where it's like, man, you know, people are gonna say what they gotta say. It is what it is. But back to manifesting our own destiny and making things happen. You know, like, you have to take a couple steps, man. You know, and you have to really focus on the things that you want. And that's everything, dude. Like, you know, when I won the title, I was focused on winning the title, and I manifested that destiny. You know, and when Eric was like, yo, you need to fight again, and I'd already quit and I was done, I was like, well, I'm going to fight for the belt. And by 2020 or 2019, 2015, whenever I won the first belt, I was like, that's when I'm going to, you know, I'm going to be a champion by then. You know what I mean? And it didn't go according to that plan. There was a couple things that happened, and we talked about this before, where I got hurt and so on and so forth.
But that's the thing. So you have those goals, you keep talking to yourself about them, you put that action into place. You've got to monitor it, and you can adjust some things, but you keep that end in sight.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, man, guys, it's certainly not just me here that you know, has just been fortunate and blessed to do all this. I mean, I've worked very, very hard, and I'm continuously working. I am nowhere near where I want to be in all aspects of my life, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You know, I'm still leveling up. But these things that you want to do, and these ways that you know, these things that you want in life, you have the ability to do this. You have the ability to overcome whatever you're going through. You just got to put as much energy this idea that you have and in these goals and dreams that you have as you do with anything else. You know, if your main focus is your kids and you can't understand why, you know, your kids don't listen to you. Well, maybe the main focus should be yourself, and you should try to do different things in order to grow, you know, in order to become better. And I do a lot of self-care, man, and that's, I can't wait till next week when we have Nikki and Stacy on here, because we're going to really talk about, you know, self-care, Reiki. You did a Reiki session, you know what I mean? I've done a couple of them.
Yep.
You know, I can't wait to get on there because it goes hand in hand, dude. Like, bro, I did a session with her with Stacy, and it was like about 6 months or a year afterwards. I was like, you know what, the universe is calling me. I need this. She reached out, and it was exactly what I needed. And we'll talk about that on the episode. But you know, self-care, dude, is huge. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously exercise and staying fit, we're all the time pushing that here, and I know people sometimes get tired of hearing that. But
we talked about that with Jessica too. I mean,
correct.
Just how there's the stuff that goes on inside, the chemical part, you know, how that ties into to everything, your emotions, your mental well-being and health. So yeah, I mean, it's not a one prong approach.
Correct.
So.
You got exercise, you got eating right, you have me personally, stretching. Like when I say stretching, like I'd say yoga, but I haven't been investing in yoga as much as I need to the class. So my stretching sessions, dude, where I'm just loosening up my body, turns into a 15, 20 minute, like kind of like just a zen out type experience where I'm just kind of focused on the body and breathing and stuff like that.
Breathing, stretching, meditation.
Dude. Meditation is.
I know there's people listening right now going, yeah, hocus pocus.
I did too. Man, I did too, bro. I did too.
But
like,
I tell you what, all these things you're talking about, if you put them into play, you by default, things are going to get better for you.
Facts, man. Like it's unexplainable. I can't even explain why, but. Dude, I've been meditating. I've been back on the wagon again, man, meditating in the morning and a little bit in the evening, man. And, dude, like my life is just so much smoother, bro. It's so much cooler, and I'm able to kind of receive information, see things differently. I'm relaxed. I'm re-energized, and I'm just slowing everything down, dude. Like, I'm curious to see what the adverse effects from 10, 20, 30 years of constant swiping and scrolling is doing to our minds and stuff like when we're all old, what are we going to be all looking like? You know what I mean? Because it's all we've been doing for the past. How many hours do you spend? You know what I mean? And
I think the average is like 5 or 6 hours now that people spend on their phones. I think just their phones, not even counting laptops.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
5 hours.
Yes. I wonder, so what kind of lab rats are we going to be in 10, 20, 30 years? You know what I mean? Reading. Keep it old school. Reading is another good self-care thing that I do, man. I read to stimulate my mind. I'm reading 2 books right now, and it just helps me get out of my own head and out of my own thoughts. To me, I think personally, I like it better than the audiobooks because I got to really focus on the reading. I can't just, sit there and do 10 other things while I'm listening. Also, it goes through the words of how I interpret it goes through the voice of how I interpret it in my head opposed to what I'm hearing or somebody else. So reading is huge, and journaling is another one, man. Journaling is so underrated, dude. Just writing down everything, dude. Write down your thoughts. I got like 3 or 4 journals. I got a personal journal, a business journal. I've got a planner that's like a journal. You know what I mean? I'm about to get another journal. I mean, it's unreal the level of success you can find from just doing these simple things that we were doing like as in elementary school and stuff like that. So.
And I know it's a time thing too, and everybody's busy, and they say, well, I don't have time for that. You probably should try to make the time, or you're going to have to make time for something else later.
Well, I'll give you an example of what I do on that. That's a good point. Too much information, but when I take a poop, it's about 20 minutes. It's about a 20-minute process for me. Some people poop really quick. My girl poops faster than she pees. I don't understand it, dude. Like, how did you do that? Right? But me,
oh boy,
it's well, for example, me, it's not a simple task. All right, it's a timely task. And the funny thing is, I did the math on that one day. I'm like, damn, if I shit twice a day and it takes 20 minutes, that's 40 hours a day times 7 days a week.
40 minutes, not 40 hours.
40 minutes a day times 7 days a week times 300. I mean, and I was like, holy shit, I'm spending that much time in the bathroom. So what I do is now I take my book with me. I take my book with me instead of scrolling like we all
multitasking.
do. Multitasking, baby. I got to get it done. So that's another way of, knocking 2 birds out with 1 stone.
I bet some of your best ideas happen on the throne, don't they?
Not really. I'll tell you why, because I'm scrolling.
You're scrolling.
Yeah, usually I'm on my phone. I'm scrolling. I'm looking at, stuff that really is not doing good, playing a game or something stupid. So yeah, I get in the habit of reading now. That way I can knock that out and devote 20, 30 minutes to it twice a day and get these chapters knocked out is oddly enough. But yeah, you can find time during the day and find a system, man. Once you get a system down, Pat, like I've been noticing that when I wake up, meditating in the morning is best for me right now. You know what I mean? I don't fall asleep.
And that's kind of what I meant by that too. Is kind of double-sided. It was, people say they don't have the time. Well, clearly you do, because if the average is 5 or 6 hours that people are just, pissing away, scrolling on social media or whatever, you do have the time.
Yeah.
You could be doing something else. And if you can put those things into play, the other part is those are going to maybe keep you from having to go to the doctor because the stress is literally killing you, or whatever. I mean, it may be extreme example, but everything in between.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Is just, that taking those 5 or 10 minutes, maybe it's 20 minutes, half an hour out of the day, maybe half an hour that you walk. It doesn't have to be something crazy. You don't have to run, 10 miles. Walk for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Meditate for 15 minutes. Read 15 minutes out of the day. It adds up, but so take that time out of the bullshit that you're investing in.
Take a break
and make it work for you. Versus, wow, if I had done this, maybe I wouldn't, be in this situation.
Correct.
So
Take a time.
A million situations.
Take a time out. Take a break and incorporate. I'll give you another quick example. When I was working in a body shop, we were so most body shop, collision repair places, they get paid off of it's called flat rate. Right? They get paid off of piecework, basically. So if you get, 7 hours it requires to, replace a fender, you know what I mean? If they get it done in 2 hours, the body technician keeps the additional remaining hours. That's the way they make money. So the more they can do that and get these jobs and multitask, the bigger their paychecks are. And one of the biggest things you hear is nobody makes enough money, right? They don't got enough time, this, that, and the third. So the owner told me, he's like, sit back and watch them for about a half an hour. Just stand back there and just watch the whole process. Right? We were in a big gym or a big body shop, and you'd watch some of the technicians that would complain about the time. Right? Well, they'd get to work, they'd have their coffee and talk to shit with the guys and this, that, and the third.
And that cup of coffee's gone, and you got to get another one.
Yeah, got to get another one, right? You know what I mean? They're laughing. They go down and they get their vehicle. And one of the things you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go over the estimate of the vehicle, right? You're supposed to disassemble the damaged parts, right, and find additional work that's not seen. It's called a supplement. And then you give that to me, and I would call the insurance company. I would get them to come out and take a look at it. We put the vehicle on hold until the supplement was approved and the additional damage, you move on. So, what would happen was the body tech would look at the car and, they say, you need this, you need that. And then they'd miss 6 things on the supplement. You have to put it on hold again. That's another thing. You watch them as they walk, they wouldn't go to the parts department and get all the parts and go over the parts, list with them. They would go one at a time. So you'd watch them walk down. And as they walk from one end of the body shop to the parts bar, they had to stop and talk to Joe about his stuff. And, they laugh and giggle with Rodney and all this and go back down. Have to stop at the bathroom. And you started seeing their production was interrupted by the bullshit that they would incorporate in their lives. Now, I'm not saying you got to, be like a machine and not have any kind of life, but there's a time and a place for these things.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And it goes from anything. Like, I'll be at the gym and sometimes I got to be a jerk about it because everybody wants to stop me and talk to me about the fights, talk to me about the PR, talk to me about this. I'm like, guys, I'm working. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to talk to you, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm working. You guys come to the gym for an hour or 2 hours to come, do your thing. Maybe it's a social thing, maybe it's a workout thing, whatever. I live here, and I got hour by hour that I'm focused on other people, right? So you learn how to minimize your wasted time. And with what we're talking about with self-care, you incorporate these times that you're spending. Hey, how much time are you spending, talking about fucking somebody's bullshit ass weekend? We talk about the same thing every Monday. How was your weekend? How was the weather? How was this? How was that? Same. It's been like this. I'm in Salisbury.
That's exactly how we started the show. But
don't say that out loud. We got to have fillers, okay? This is showbiz, baby. This is showbiz. I tell you, man, I went out to one of the restaurants this weekend, and it's a gift and a curse, man. I'm very flattered, but I saw 2 friends of mine, and these were a little bit older than me, women, right? So it wasn't like we were sitting at the table throwing back shots. We were having an intricate conversation. They had a bottle of wine, you know what I mean? Like, we're at a public place, and dude, I know 25 interruptions from people that wanted to just come over and say, "Hey, Brett, why are you, buddy? What's up? Hey, what's going on?" And I'm just like, I appreciate that the feeling, but dude, I'm sitting here invested in the conversation, right? Like, we're going to see each other later on tonight, I guarantee. As a matter of fact, we'll probably see each other 6 times later tonight, 7 more times throughout the week. Like, this is Salisbury, dude. And they do it really, oh, my girl hates it. They do it with me and her on dates. Like, they'll come up and interrupt mine and her conversation just to say hi, or I'll be at the gym. I'm like, guys, man, I just want to enjoy myself. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get no time together, man. It's unreal. It's kind of unrelated, but I had to touch on that because it's like another example of how people just don't maximize their time efficiently. You know what I mean? Now I get it. We're out, but this was still dinner crowd, dude. This wasn't even the bar. And anyway. All right. Well, that's my tip, man, for the day, man. I'm again, shout out to Brandon Brittingham and the Maryland Delaware group, man. I'm really thankful for this opportunity and thankful for all the support and everything that you guys have shown SBY and shown me over the couple of years and stuff like that. So it's going to be a new chapter, man. It's going to be something big.
Have to keep us updated and what's going on and how it's working out.
You'll know when you see my face on the billboard. You know what I mean? Got that big tip tooth, like, hey. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. So, champ of the week, baby. Champ of the week.
Champ of the week.
Yes. Let's say this champ of the week is brought to you by Maryland and Delaware Group of Long and Forster, Brandon Brittingham, for all your real estate needs. If you're looking to buy a home, let them know I sent you. You know what I mean?
And also, anybody who's watching or listening, send us your champ of the week. You're allowed to do that. And you can have any reason that you think they're the champ of the week.
Yeah, dude. We still haven't had anybody reach out and try to.
Don't be scared. There's no wrong answers.
No. Let us know, guys. We want more interaction. We want more input from the viewers. But go ahead, Chet. Who do you got this week, buddy?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Absolutely.
The notorious RBG.
Absolutely.
Which is kind of cool. One of her students gave her that name and it stuck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that was kind of nice. But, so Supreme Court Justice since 93. Absolutely a fighter, for sure. Fought for others, and she's been fighting cancer for like forever.
Wow.
But still doing her job. Champion for women's rights, civil rights, human rights in general. Without getting too specific, but I encourage everybody to go do some homework instead of just scrolling through social media bullshit.
Yeah,
dig up something that's you can learn from. So, put that phone to use. And when this is just some funny stuff too. When she was first added to the Supreme Court, they did not have a women's bathroom.
Wow.
Didn't have a women's bathroom. This is 1993. They didn't have a women's bathroom.
Are you kidding me?
No, not kidding at all. And
well, now you don't. We went back to that anyway. So now you have an everybody's bathroom. You know what I mean? Which,
yeah, maybe.
I feel sorry for women right now.
Well, the thing was, the Justice O'Connor had to go back to her chambers. She didn't have a bathroom. She had to go all the way back to her chambers.
Wow.
So then when she got there, like, well, there's 2 women now. I guess we got to put a bathroom in for. Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, man. Way to be lenient. We're gonna give the women a bathroom. It's about time.
And you'll like this too. She was doing her 20 push-ups a day.
Was she really?
Yeah. Yeah. She said I'd do 10 and then I'd breathe. I'd do 10 more, but that wasn't the hardest part. So then I would do a 30-second plank.
Oh wow!
I forget how old she was. She's probably in her 80s too.
Yeah, she was elderly
when she said that. But champ of the week. Again. Not getting into the political part of it, not politicizing any of that, but check it out. Go do some history homework.
Awesome,
Get
man.
off the social media for a while.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
And please, once again, send us your champ of the week.
Yeah, guys, tell us who should be champ of the week. We're running out of champions. It's just me and Chet, and maybe once Eric's back, we can have his input.
No, I don't know about that.
Eric.
I can hear the chicken and dumplings.
Eric, if you hear us right now, which you're probably asleep, type yes, I love you, Chet. All right, moving along. We had some good fights come this past weekend. Did you see them?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so the headliner was Make America Great Again versus BLM. That shit turned fucking political quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Colby Covington, if you guys don't know, Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley. And, 2 awesome fighters. I mean, great fighters. But Colby Covington has really embraced the bad guy role, which, again, guys, this is entertainment. You know what I mean? If you guys are still getting hyped up on what's going on. You guys are doing exactly what they want you to do, which is okay. You know, let's make the money. You know, it is entertainment. But Colby really embraced the bad guy, and then I mean, dude, I thought it was ballsy, but went straight on pro-Trump bandwagon, which, I mean, he's like really taking that, you know, wears his MAGA hat and really takes that to heart and
gets a call
stuff
from
like
the president
that.
when it's over.
Which I thought that was pretty cool, though. I mean, you know, like, I mean, obviously for obvious reasons, but I did think it was pretty cool that because
they're both TV stars.
Well, and Trump's been a huge supporter of Dana White and the UFC and stuff like that. So
yeah,
you know, I can see that. But yeah, it was funny because Colby comes in and he wears the bad guy, the villain hat and stuff like that, and he's you know, he ran with the Trump thing. He knew that, you know, there'd be a lot of people that love him, a lot of people that hated him doing that and stuff like that. And then Tyron Woodley, you know, I think he was in his interview, and every interview question that he was asked, he said Black Lives Matter.
That was freaking brilliant.
Yeah, I mean,
if you watch the whole thing.
Yeah, so I mean that's the two roles that they went to. So, but
unfortunately, I said unfortunately.
What?
Woodley's rib. Not that he was going to win. Not that he was going to win anyway.
Well, I think with
which really sucked because I really wanted to see him pound the shit out of Covington, but I knew, you know, wasn't going to happen. Who did I want to win the fight? Woodley for sure. Mm-hmm. Was he going to win? Probably not.
You know, I like Colby Covington as a fighter.
Talented fighter. I think he's just a garbage person. But
well, dude, again, it's for the entertainment.
And not even, you know, half of it's his politics. I mean, I think he's a garbage person anyway.
Well, you know, to each his own. But I like him as a fighter. I think he's I think all of the antics shadow the how good of a fighter he really is. You know what I mean? And you know, it's a fight business, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing I loved about the Diaz brothers. They're not here to be your friends. You know, one thing I'll give Covington props on though, he will pull your card for, you know what I mean? You got something to say about him, or you said it in the interview, he don't care who you are. When he sits down in front of you, he's gonna pull that card and say, you know, well, you remember when you said this? You know what I mean? Well, fuck off now. You know, so I do like that about him. I don't really like buy into all the hype anymore, man. The hoopla. I think the one who did that the best, one of the best ones was Chael Sonnen. He really had everybody fooled that he was like this douchebag bad person. Really, he just did it for the hype. You know,
you watch any of his video snippets and podcasts?
I see snips of it, and I love it, dude. I'm a huge Chael Sonnen fan now, as far as the guy he is. You know, as far as like the excuse maker and the cheater that he was, I'm not big on that. But I do, you know, I do like that. I like Colby Covington as a fighter. I like him as, you know, I like how he plays that villain, that hat well. But you know, all that shit just ends up getting watered down. I think probably one of the best trash talkers ever was Conor McGregor. And I mean, people think he's a fucking douchebag, which he's got some shit going on with him. But everybody who has interaction with Conor McGregor speaks so highly of, you know, the person that he is and he meets you. I mean, these athletes are trying to get paid millions of dollars to sell tickets. So I think you got to really, you know, respect and honor that. They got to do what they got to do in a certain way. I don't feel like selling out is a good way, but the one thing I didn't really enjoy about the Tyron Woodley and Colby Covington fight was the politics side of it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's just it's into everything. You know what I mean? It's into everything that's going on. And
some of the people that crack me up are, I'm not watching football anymore. I'm not watching NASCAR. Mm-hmm. Oh, Covington, yeah,
I know, and that's
these professional sports figures make too much money,
right?
But Covington,
and that's what frustrates me. You know what I mean? It's like it's only good if it fits your agenda. You know what I mean? It's, you know, if you're pro Black Lives Matter, then, you know, you're all about it. And you're not, you know, all about Donald Trump or anything else. If you're pro Donald Trump, you're not about, you know, Black Lives Matter. And it's just like, dude, can we get to something that just doesn't have nothing to do with politics and stuff?
Can you guys just shut the fuck up and go fight?
For real, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Or go play sports or do whatever you got to do. You know, people make it a big deal because, you know, the end racism statements on the football field. And dude, why is that a big deal? Why can't we just say what we want to say and move the fuck on? You know what I mean? It's just like so much of everything is just.
But I understand having a platform and using it. I get it. It's fine. But, you know, the fans are always worse than the. I I don't care who it is, if it's a band or a team or a sports figure.
Oh, yeah.
Fans are always worse.
Nothing's worse than your fucking people behind the free throw line trying to distract the basketball players to the free throw. And basketball fans, it gets real ugly because you hear everything they're saying. Like, you're right there, like, eye level. And, I mean, they say some shit, dude. It's just like, you know, I can't get mad at Ron Artest for going off in the fans in the stadium that night. You know what I mean? Of course, it doesn't look well, but sometimes, you know, you gotta punch a motherfucker in his mouth for talking shit. But anyway, back to the fights. Highly entertaining fight.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, Tyron Woodley, I think, just doesn't have the they want to fight like he used to, man. I think it's, you know, something psychological going there.
There's something happening.
Something happened, man.
To certainly take a step back and reevaluate.
He used to be a killer, man. I mean, he used to be a violent killer, and
But I think he still can be.
I do too, man. I love Tyron Woodley back at Strikeforce. I loved him in UFC, and he just I don't know, man. It just seems like he's not the same, man.
Speaking of taking a step back and reassessing things, Cowboy Cerrone.
Yes.
I mean, that was his words and Dana White's words, apparently.
Both of them said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dana was like, yeah, we're going to have a talk.
Wow. Well, he's in the wrong weight class.
So he's saying he wasn't, the way he put it, he's not quitting, not really thinking of it, but he needs to figure some stuff out.
Well, he should be in 170, first of all. But again, at that age, cutting to 155 in that big cut, you know, I thought he fought damn good with Nico Price. Nico Price is a beast.
Yeah.
And Donald did well. But again, you know, you're starting to see the age come through, and you know, he's got to do something different than just keep trading with these young, you know, ambitious fighters. You know, the eye poke is what got him the nod, you know, or got the decision. You know, that Nico Price and Donald Cerrone were the co-main events, and ended up being a draw and very entertaining fight. Donald fought his ass off. I thought he did really well, but it just seemed to really, you know, his experience and his age really started playing, I think, good and bad for him. You know, I think experience helped him, and you could see he had great head movement. You know, you know, they're young bulls, man. They're
that's the thing.
Bulls, man. You know, I really wish there was like a league where they were older. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
they had the old man league.
You know, just like not too old, like, you know, but just old enough to where, you know, they're still exciting fighters, still could put on a good fight. You know what I mean? But just like the Shogun Hua Little Nog fight, man, that was a great fight, man. Both guys are older. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different level, man. When once you hit that 40 plateau, 37, 38, 39, you're you know, it's about it, man.
Too. I mean, we talked about that before. The fighters that are coming up now, they're totally different creatures compared to you know, what has been in the past. So.
Absolutely. And you have, you know, in their training rooms, you have, you know, 50 of those young, well-rounded fighters that have, you know, all the accolades where, you know, back in the day it wasn't like that. So, you know, Cowboy, love Cowboy to death, but man, he's in a bad weight class, and he's fighting guys that are just, you know, just got the fountain of youth on their side. Now, I tell you, the one fight I did enjoy, Smash.
All 17 seconds of it?
Oh, my gosh. Jameo, yeah, dude. He just destroyed his opponent, dude, in one punch.
Yeah.
One punch, it was out. He said Habib is number 2. I'm number 1 because I knock people out. I mean, and he ain't lying, bro. We've yet to see what this guy got. You know what I mean?
We keep saying, oh, you know, you can get on that train, but, you know, he's going to get stopped.
I'm on now, dude. I'm sorry.
He's stopped at some point, but look what he's done.
I'm sorry. I'm on it. I'm on the train. He
didn't even sweat.
Bro.
17 seconds.
Unreal. Now, they're talking about pairing him up with Damian Maia. And he's already a 500 plus favorite in that fight.
Dude, that'll be fun to see, though.
So I'm just curious to see how Damian Maia is going to get him to the ground, because the way that Damian Maia does takedowns is exactly in his world. Yeah, I mean, even if he gets hands on him, I mean, that's his kind of style, man. He loves this. You know, it's all about the groundwork. So, and again, we're talking about another young bull versus a fighter that's past his prime. You know what I mean? So.
It's seasoned.
Nah, he's done.
Oh, come on, man.
He's done.
That'd be fun to see, though.
Yes, I would like to see. I think it'd be a great step in a direction. I'm excited about what he's going to do with the 185. I'm excited to see once he gets in there with Adesanya or Costa or some of these big names that are coming up. Which is this week? We got the big fight, man. Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. Who do you got in that, Chip?
I don't know. I keep going back and forth on that one.
Based on what
back and forth on it.
based on what I've seen with the way that both of them fought Yoel Romero, I feel that Adesanya is the more precision fighter.
For sure.
Yep.
I mean, when you're talking precision, yeah.
Precision. Both of them are highly, highly decorated world champions in kickboxing.
See, that's what I keep going to. I think that's what's going to win the fight.
Yeah,
His precision. But
I do too.
Yeah.
I picked Covington over Woodley, and I was right about that. I didn't think Woodley had the right answer for Covington, and I feel like Adesanya's gonna come away with this victory, man. I think he's gonna stop him, dude. And I mean nothing against Paulo Costa, but I mean I think he is just, first of all, a wrecking machine. He's got the look. I mean, he's huge, but I think with him, I think he may be a little emotionally invested in this one right now. I think Adesanya might have touched the buttons a little bit. And basically what I've seen when both of them fought Yoel Romero, of course, the Yoel Romero Adesanya fight was a snooze fest. But in the same thing, Romero is hard to put away. He can knock you out, and he really didn't engage with Adesanya because Adesanya is more of a counter striker, is more of a precision defensive fighter, and I think that you're going to see offense from Costa, and I think that's maybe where I think
he's going to come out a little too wild.
I do too.
Have to calm
I do too.
down a bit.
I do too.
I can even imagine hearing his corner saying that. But it's going to be good either way, and it's not going to be a 17-second fight. So
well. We think it won't be, dude, but shoot, man. I mean, how many of them did we think that was going to go the distance and then ended up being, shit, or ended up being knockouts right away? And then how many of them did we think that was going to be like the best fight ever,
and
including
the boring fight of the night?
Oh, my God, including the Yoel Romero. I'll tell you, one of the most boring fights I ever watched was the Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis fight. That was one of the worst fights in history, they said. It was just so awful because neither one of them wanted to engage. And both of them have taken responsibility for that. Both of them are saying, we just didn't have it. I think Ngannou was kind of going through something in his mind, at the time when he was, trying to, I think he was dealing with some an L, or I don't know, he just couldn't pull the trigger. And Derek Lewis, for some reason, just wouldn't engage. And I mean, again, either one of them knock each other out with one punch, a jab, or anything. They're insanely powerful. But yeah, that was one of the most boring fights I had ever seen. I'm currently trying to find what it is that.
While you're looking for that, what do you think about this? With them using the video now to be able to go back and actually get the replays. There's been these last fights, and I believe even the week before too, a lot of controversy with stoppage and who was the one that this past? Oh, it was Jessica Rose Clark. Yeah, Jessica Rose Clark and Sarah Alpar, where it looked it turned out the knee was legal. You could see it from the side. Her butt hadn't touched the ground yet. But they stopped it because she got cracked. Busted her nose, busted her face open, and then they went back. So then the ref starts the fight again, restarts it. So it's like, is it a TKO, or do you restart it now because so you thought it was illegal, but it also would have been TKO. Now you're restarting the fight, and that poor chick, she took unbelievable punishment after that. Well, she kept going. And other situations would have kept going too, but it's just I don't know. It seems like there's
my issue with that is, man, is like one, I'm not a big fan of instant replay in other sports because I think human error from the referee side make a big play in it, and it's gotten so out of hand, like you can't even get through a 4-down series in football without having the instant replay. I think some of your bigger issues should be and then all the new rules and stuff like that. But UFC's tough, man. It's like I really think it should be implemented in a way because or MMA is tough because there's so many bullshit calls. I had one happen to me on my first fight. You know what I mean? Now, granted, the guy was more experienced than me, and I feel he won the fight, but I stopped him. I stopped him in the third round. I came out right off the break, hit him with a 1-2, right? At that point, there was no ground and pound in the in the rule set in Delaware, and I didn't ground and pound him. I didn't go down to the ground with him. I circled around. I started punching him in his body, and of course, the fighters, we watch tape over and over again and rewind it and pause, and I did that. And when I dropped him, he was flat, right? He was scooting in to try to do like an ankle pick, but he was out of his senses. I was turning around, circling, hitting him in his body. Before I threw that first punch, right, the ref had already ran in. So the ref's normal reaction was when I dropped him to break it up, it was over. And then I stopped, and he ends up going full progress. I trip, and then he's out of it. He don't know what's going on. The fighter, they stand us up, and the ref's like, and I just jump up like I won the fight. Hulk Hogan, right? Because he's like, no, you can't hit the fighter in the head. I'm like, I never aimed for his head, but I didn't say anything. And as you watch the tape, when they do that little talk to me, and then they go over there, the other side judge gets up like, whoa, you can't stop the fight and start over. The guy that I dropped, my opponent, was like, he literally stepped over his leg because he was still out of it. Like it was a good one too. And then they restarted, and of course, I had done blow my last little bit of energy I had. He took me down, and he won the fight. Eric got on me forever about not challenging him, but I'm like, dude, if I'd done more on my back, I would have won. But the point I'm trying to say is, that's a key indication that the ref blew the call.
Right.
And you're talking about, high stakes are at these fights, man. These are high stakes when you're talking about a 12-week, 8-week training camp, millions of dollars. It's not just like you're going to run the same 4 downs every play, or, you're going to shoot the same 3 free throws or three-pointers. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's needed in MMA and in the UFC, because there's a lot of blown calls on the refs judge, and a lot of things.
And everybody was confused. Even the commentators were going back and forth, and they're fighters. And they're like, going by the rules, I think they were looking it up on the fly, like on the spot, going, okay, well,
yeah,
it was confusing.
And 2 weeks in a row.
Was this a TKO? Was it okay? So would you have stopped it if that's what you assumed it was? It was, I don't know, man. It was kind of a mess. But and I don't, like I said, that, and she probably took damage after that she didn't need to.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is that 2 weeks in a row, man. I think it was unnecessary. So, well, that'll wrap us up, man, for this episode of Champ Talk. Next week we'll have Stacy and Nikki on, man. It's going to be a great show. We're going to talk about self-care. We're going to talk about things that they do, very especially. They're both healers, and I think it's going to be a great show. Beautiful women, beautiful spirits, all the above. So it'll be fun, to have those two on here to kind of see the blend of the male perspective, the female perspective, and the macho guy versus a sensitive guy, and see where they can kind of dissect us a little bit and talk about what they do. We're super excited to have them. But this has been a great episode, guys. I hope you take something away from what we talked about, man. I do appreciate everybody watching, and please give us your feedback. Champ of the week, what you think. But this is Champ Talk with Brandon Hudson. I'm your host, Brandon Hudson. To my far left,
Chet, damn it.
Guys, what are you doing today to become a champion?